Let me go to Kenny, who joins me on line 1 today. Kenny, good morning to you.
Good morning, Keith. How are you?
For a virtual event, it went extremely well.
Oh my God, it is. And always there's a chance with a virtual event that, something will change, or some bit of software won't work, or some dots won't join. And what we wanted to do, Keith, was try and bring it to life so that you just didn't have pre-recorded videos. So there's a live element to it. And we had Pat Pickett and Ivana Ryan as our two MCs, and a whole plethora of people between the studio and Sound to Life, and Liam Horn with Remo, and Gary Kelly and GK Media joining the dots in the background. And thankfully, Keith, I have to say, we brought a virtual dining room to life, and it was like a helicopter view over the tables, and people could move from table to table in the same way as you would in a function room, and break out into Zoom breakout rooms and then move on. So thankfully, the investment in time and energy seems to have paid off, and people really enjoyed the interaction.
It may be the new way of doing it now. It doesn't have the same impact as going over and belting a fella on the back of and saying, congratulations, well done, that was well achieved and well deserved.
Yeah, no, I think there's a hybrid model that you'll see into the future. We'll all look forward. Good God, no more than yourself. I love those events myself. We'll all look forward to getting back to the real thing. But for now, certainly it served us well as a solution, and genuinely people sat chatting, and I thought there were some lovely moments at different stages, because if we look at those who were honoured and recognised at the event, are my good friend, and indeed the person who was doing this role before myself, Maeve Joyce Crehan, was there and was honoured to win a special recognition award. And it's amazing, people loved to be able to move in and out of the tables, and for Maeve to be chatting to people that maybe she hasn't seen in a while. Equally, from the sponsors' point of view, Keith, they were still able to host their table and invite the clients or the people that they wanted to come. And so it's amazing. You're doing it from the comfort of your own home without in one way having to get dressed up. And it was over within 90 minutes. We had managed to get through all the different categories. So you're right, it's not the same, but yet there's a richness in it that's better than maybe what we've had over Zoom and other stuff. So certainly Remo as a platform, I'd be excited to use it again.
And the reaction of the recipients then, that was extremely strong, because I mean, I know that Maeve, and God bless Maeve, and she dead right indeed to recognise the work that she's done for businesses down through the last long number of years. But I mean, aside from that, there was other presentations, including your president in that. But then the individual winners, I mean, for them, it's just the icing on the cake on top of this.
Absolutely, and listen, I can run through just very briefly.
Please do, yeah.
Like the winners that came through from the different categories. We had the Dr. Chris Cochran Award for Best Emerging Enterprise, and that ended up being presented to Origin Medical, a fantastic medtech, health tech company in Galway. If we look at the Best Innovation, that ended up being awarded to the team at Exordo, being led by Paul Kaloran. Brilliant team in the city centre, brilliant company employing 15 people and growing. If we look at innovation, they had to totally transform their way of operating to survive. If we look at the marketing excellence, that was Michael Maloney from Galway Racecourses, and Michael received that award, which was sponsored by Galway City Council. The innovation, as I say, was EY. And we move on to Best SME, sponsored by AIB, and this one really had a great impact. It was HealthLink Mental, and it's a virtual platform providing support, counselling and mental health services to a broad range of the community, but it's also a thriving and growing business. If we look at the Best Customer Service category, and that was sponsored by Bank of Ireland and presented by Brian Carey, we had Anne-Marie Kelly from Rinval House Hotel, and I think they had the lovely iconic piece in the video with themselves. They always had the fire burning out in Rinval House, and they've said they've always kept the fire going, and some of their social media even, it's that heartening image that I think we all can't wait to head back out to Rinval or indeed anywhere. If we look under the Sustainability Award, that ended up being awarded to Inuit Galway, and that was sponsored by Shannon Air Force, and Michelle O'Dowd-Lohan spoke on behalf of that. And I think the beauty, once you look at the likes of the Inuit Galway one, is once she began to talk about all the different component parts of who have been involved in the sustainability agenda, it just, it's mind-blowing, the size and scale of what is taking place. And then for the President's Award, President J.P. Gilmartin ended up honouring John Power of Aerogen for the phenomenal amount of activity that he and his team have undertaken. And I think it's their contribution not just to Galway but to the wider region, and their contribution to healthcare, and in particular the impact that their product line has had in the fight against COVID-19. And then there's an overall winner then, Keith. And it was decided that as a result of the resilience that they've showcased and the innovation in how they've adapted, Galway Racecourse would be the overall winner for 2020. They have to still deliver an event behind doors, mount up this massive online marketing campaign to try and still draw their race goers in a virtual way, and the way also that the facility out there has continued to be expanded and developed and is now operating as a vaccination centre. So there's been phenomenal stories right through the different shortlistees. We had 19 companies shortlisted, and those that I've just spoke to there now have been those who came out on top, and it was really a great showcase of all that's good in Galway, and Mary Constantine of Shannon Group spoke very passionately about that, and why they remained as lead sponsors all the way along. And I'd like to acknowledge yourself, Keith, as well as media partner in the event, and I know that you'll be covering a couple of the recipients later in the week.
But all very worthy recipients. I mean, I'm delighted the President recognised John Power of Aerogen. I remember that the first day John came to town and I met John. And just look at what they've created now. They're worldwide at this stage, and some of the other ones there, indeed, you're about Paul Killorn there. I mean, again, another magnificent person, and Maeve Joyce for what she's done for business and will continue to support as well. So yeah, we're looking forward to talking to the rest of them during the week, and to those people as well during the week. But it's and again, a HelpLink Medical there, again, a wonderful bunch of people there. So it's all. All it does is it brings their names to the fore again and focus people's minds as well.
It does, and it gives others something to aspire to and to work towards and to learn from their stories as well. So I think we couldn't, as you know, we were debating, would we proceed with a virtual event and what would that look like? I'm very proud of the team and indeed our sponsors and all the supporters who stuck with us, and we really did celebrate in a virtual way all that's good about Galway.
All right. Well, listen, you did so in a very sober and dignified way. So congratulations to all involved in that.
There were no calories, Keith, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what way you look at it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today.